Then the doctor dropped the cancer bombshell. So in my video yesterday, I got a ton of comments like this one, and basically people were just asking how I found out. So there's a couple things that you need to understand. So first of all, I have a really strong family history of colitis, which is basically a disease that affects the colon. So I started about 6 months ago getting some GI issues, constipation, some diarrhea every once in a while when I wasn't constipated, and just overall a change in the way that my body was processing the food that I was eating. And I really didn't think a lot about it because I have a history of colitis in my family. So to be honest with you, I kind of brushed it off. What ended up happening is my wife came to me and she said, hey, you need to go get checked out. Something's not right. And fortunately, I listened to her. I will say I was a little dense at first and it took me a little while. But ultimately what happened is that had me go into the doctor. I got scheduled for a colonoscopy, which was a little bit of a fiasco because originally my insurance company didn't want to cover it because I wasn't old enough for preventative scans, even though I had a family history of colitis. Now, that doesn't really matter. I will say this about my insurance company. Ever since I got my cancer diagnosis, they've been absolutely great and covered everything, and there's been no issues. So I will say that. But ultimately, I got this colonoscopy. As soon as I woke up from the sedation from the colonoscopy, the doctor basically dropped the cancer bombshell. I will be perfectly honest with you. I don't really remember a whole lot of the appointment after he said, hey, it looks like you probably have cancer. They couldn't say anything for sure until they had pathology, which I got just a couple days later. It was pretty quick. So that was how I found out about it. It really wasn't anything major. It was a lot of really small things with my digestive tract that just weren't right. They weren't normal for me. What it really took was someone who cared about me, being my wife, to reach out and say, hey, something's not right here. Because I was a little dense and I just thought, I have a family history of colitis. I'll take care of it here in a little bit. It's not the end of the world, whatever. But fortunately, my wife said, hey, go to the doctor, get it checked out. And I did. And that was how I ended up here. So hopefully that answered your question. I think the moral of the story is if you're having even minor GI issues, with the increase we've seen in colorectal cancer, get it checked out. Get those things checked out. Most likely it's nothing. But if it is something, you'll find out earlier, hopefully, and that will set you up for success with cancer treatment.